welcome to the deep dive. Okay, today we're jumping right into the chaos, the immediate aftermath of that huge title change.
Yeah, Saturday night's main event completely shook things up.
Exactly. We've got the rundown from the weekly show in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and our mission here is simple: map out what happens next. This is all about the power shift, and this brand new threat that just emerged. That's the core of it. When a major title like the World Heavyweight Championship changes hands, everything resets.
Yeah.
Instantly. And this week really hammered that home. We've kind of broken it down into three key areas for you.
Okay, lay them out.
The new champ, CM Punk, and the massive target on his back now, plus this powerful new group that formed around him. Second, got to talk about this huge tournament announcement from a legend. It's game-changing.
Definitely. And third, we're looking inside the big factions, the internal drama, and how all that tension is boiling over into the main event scene. It's a lot to unpack. So let's start at the top. CM Punk, new World Heavyweight Champion. He kicked off the show, belt and all, felt like a celebration, but what did that opening speech really tell us strategically?
Well, what struck me was how he started with emotion, He made sure to thank his wife, AJ Lee, very specifically, and the fans. It wasn't just like generic champion talk.
Right, it felt personal, grounding himself.
Exactly, building that connection right away, setting the tone, maybe, for being a champion for the people.
But that didn't last long. That gratitude, it flipped pretty quickly into calling out rivals. He went straight for Seth Rollins.
He did. Said he hoped Rollins comes back soon so Punk can send him home again. The old grudges are clearly still burning hot. That history is front and center.
And it wasn't just Rollins. He listed a ton of potential challengers. Yeah, that list was long. It shows the scale of the challenge, right? You had Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, AJ Styles, the Judgment Day guys, Dominic, JD, Finn, Sheamus, and the biggest name drop of all, John Cena.
John Cena, yeah. He's basically putting a giant bullseye on himself, saying, come and get it to every top guy.
But the first person to actually step up wasn't even on that list.
Nope. It was Logan Paul. Just walks out.
And Punk looked less than thrilled. Pretty much told him to buzz off, go challenge Dragunov on the other show. Why, Paul? Why then?
Opportunism. Pure and simple. Paul sees the spotlight, sees the new champ, maybe still celebrating. Vulnerable, he wants that title shot, that instant relevance it brings.
But his interruption actually brought out someone else. Someone much more calculating.
Paul Heyman. And he wasn't alone.
Right. Heyman comes out, dismisses Paul like he's nothing, calls him a dep. An idiot, basically, yeah. And then unveils his own plan. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed calls them the Vision. Classic Hammond move, instant power consolidation. You've got Breakker's explosive power, Reed's unbelievable size and agility. Heyman declared they were the real challengers. Suddenly, Punk's facing an impossible numbers game.
It looked like Punk was about to get jumped, but then things got weird with Paul.
Yeah, Paul actually leaves at first, but then Breakker and Reed kind of shove him around outside. So Paul runs back in and starts fighting alongside Punk against the Vision.
Looks like a temporary team-up, right? Enemy of my enemy. Sort of thing.
It looked like it, but knowing Logan Paul, he doesn't usually do favors. They did manage to fight them off for a second. Paul actually took Reed's big splash, the tsunami.
Which is a huge move to absorb.
Right. Seems suspicious now, doesn't it? But it gave Punk the opening to grab a chair, make the Vision back off. So Punk and Paul are left standing there together, which, man, talk about foreshadowing. That was the setup for the end of the night.
Wow.
Okay, that chaos leads us right into the next big piece, the long-term picture, the John Cena announcement. This feels foundational.
Oh, absolutely. Cena drops this video message. He's hosting a 16-man tournament. Starts next week.
But the scope of it is wide.
That's the key part. He said Raw stars, SmackDown stars, NXT stars, and then he threw in potentially talent not currently working there.
Oh, hang on. Outside talent. So new signings? Maybe partnerships?
It could be anything. That's massive speculation fuel right there.
Yeah.
But the prize, the winner of this whole thing,
is John Cena in his last match.
His last match ever at Saturday night's main event. Talk about making a star overnight. The stakes couldn't possibly be higher for whoever's in this tournament. It's incredible pressure. And we already know 2 matches for next week. Yep. Adam Pearce drew the first name, though we didn't see who, but confirmed. Rusev versus Damian Priest. And Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. And Rusev had something interesting to say backstage.
He did. Said he's going to use this tournament to rectify his greatest defeat. Remember that, his undefeated streak ending.
Yeah, that crushed him for a long time.
So this isn't just about winning a match for him. It's redemption, personal. Adds a whole other layer to that first-round clash with Priest.
That kind of personal drama is everywhere right now. Look at the Mysterio situation.
Ugh, yeah. Dominic, with his Intercontinental and AAA mega titles, comes out calling himself the King of the Luchador.
Which is just maximum disrespect to his father, Ray, and that whole tradition.
Totally. Ray was furious, listing off actual legends, but Dominic's response.
Designed to cut deep, saying he made the Mysterio name relevant again, and then the warning. Don't mention Eddie Guerrero, his real father.
He knows exactly which buttons to push to get Ray off his game. Keep him emotional, not thinking strategy.
And it works. Ray hit the 619, his signature move.
Showing he's still got it physically, yeah.
But Dominic scrambled out before Ray could follow up. He escapes again, keeping that feud simmering. Smart, in a slimy way.
Always. Now, before we hit the title matches, there was that quick but crucial moment mid-show. Punk needing backup against the Vision.
Right, he goes to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But he had to ask first.
He had to clarify, is this main event Jey Uso, or is this Jey still under Roman Reigns' shadow, you know? And Jey made it clear. He's his own man now. Super important context. It shows that even with Reigns and Heyman maybe focused elsewhere for a moment, that old dynamic, that threat, it still lingers. Jey's independence is key if Punk wants any allies at all right now. Okay, let's pivot to the title matches themselves. World Tag Team Championship, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defending against Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and Styles and Lee retained. Styles hit the Styles Clash on McDonough for the win.
But the match itself was pure Judgment Day chaos, wasn't it?
Textbook. Dominic tries to interfere, ref spots him. That brings out Sheamus, who starts brawling with Dominic all around ringside. Total distraction.
Which Styles capitalized on.
Exactly. So Judgment Day loses the match, but they walk away having stoked the fire with Styles and Lee, and they've kicked off a new issue between Dominic and Sheamus. Mission accomplished, kinda.
And we saw that backstage too, right?
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Trying to keep things calm.
Yeah, telling a fuming Dominic to go support Finn and JD, be the better man.
Yeah.
It shows there's some internal structure there, trying to manage the chaos and keep them focused even when they lose. Perez is playing that mediator role. Interesting. Shifting to the women's division, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, got a win over Bayley and Lyra Valkyria via submission, the Asuka lock. But that match really highlighted friction on both teams.
How so?
Well, you saw Asuka constantly barking orders at Kairi Sane. Maybe not totally on the same page, but the bigger issue was Bayley and Valkyria. They actually collided near the end.
Oops, miscommunication cost them.
Yeah, that temporary team just couldn't hold it together under pressure, and it directly led to the loss.
And right after the match, the women's tag team champs showed up.
Yep. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss marched out, confronted Asuka and Kairi. The Kabuki Warriors backed off pretty quickly, though.
Setting up a title match for next week, then.
2 of them, actually. Huge week coming up for the women. We've got Stephanie Vacker defending the women's world title against Raquel Rodriguez, and Flair and Bliss putting the tag titles on the line against the Kabuki Warriors.
Wow, okay, busy division. And there was one more moment with the women's world champ before the main event.
Yeah, Nikki Bella went up to Stephanie Vacker, kind of apologizing for them losing a tag match earlier. Sounded a bit down on herself.
How did Vacker react?
Really well, actually. Vacker shut that down, praised Nikki, called her a pioneer for all the women, basically validated her place in her history.
That's important locker room stuff. Respecting the veterans.
Definitely. Keeps morale up, shows the new champ values the foundation.
All right, let's get to the main event. But first, Heyman's last little mind game.
He corners Jey Uso backstage. One last try, you know, questioning his loyalty to Punk, trying to pull him back in.
Did it work?
Nope. Jey stood firm, said he's independent. That's when Heyman basically said, okay, gloves are off. He'd been holding Breakker and Reed back, but now he was letting the bronze off the leash.
Ominous.
And the main event certainly delivered on that promise. Punk and Jey Uso versus Breakker and Reed.
Brutal fight. Ended in a countout after about 10 minutes. They were just brawling so hard outside, nobody could get back in time.
But the match ending didn't stop the fight.
Not even close. That's when the real action started. Breakker hits this absolutely massive super spear on Jey Uso, just takes him out completely.
Big Punk alone.
And then the Vision grabs chairs, just like Punk did earlier. Now they've got the weapons, and Punk is cornered.
And this is the moment. The climax. Logan Paul runs down.
Looks like he's coming to save Punk, right? He's got the brass knuckles.
Everyone thinks he's going to hit Breakker or Reed. But he spins around. Bam! Clocks CM Punk with the knuckles.
The turn. Just devastating.
And then the final image. Paul takes off the knuckles, the weapon he used to betray Punk, and hands them right to Paul Heyman. Alliance confirmed.
Wow. So the Vision isn't just Breakker and Reed anymore. They just added Logan Paul's star power and treachery.
It's a whole new ballgame. Instantly the most dangerous, dominant faction in the company. You've got Heyman orchestrating, Paul providing the mainstream buzz and the dirty tactics, and Breakker and Reed as the unstoppable muscle.
And Paul is now positioned as the immediate challenger to Punk, right? The guy who just laid him out.
Absolutely. That one betrayal just flipped the entire power structure on its head overnight. Punk's reign starts under the shadow of this overwhelming, unified threat. Incredible strategic shakeup. So, wrapping this up for you, the listener, key takeaways are this new powerhouse faction, Paul Breakker Reed, managed by Heyman gunning for Punk. We've got Cena's huge farewell tournament kicking off, drawing talent from everywhere, and multiple women's title matches set for next week. Which leads to the big question you gotta chew on. Seeing how quickly Heyman put this dominant group together, this feels like a hard pivot, right?
Yeah.
A shift away from maybe older stories, focusing everything on the new champ and this massive wall he has to climb. And given Punk has, like, 0 allies right now after that betrayal, how desperate will he get? How fast just to survive this first wave from the Vision? Lots to think about. If you enjoyed this deep dive and the breakdown of all that chaos, please do us a favor, like, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of that shocking Logan Paul turn.